Good morning, everyone. My name is Leigh. Welcome to our backyard garden. As you can see, I am standing here in our beautiful tomato garden, and I am looking at our beautiful Thornburns terracotta tomatoes, which are starting to vine ripen. And I'm coming to some decisions on when it is that I'll have to actually harvest them. So if you are growing tomatoes that are maybe a different variety, maybe because of the color, you're unsure of when you should actually harvest them, a lot of questions. How long should I leave this on the plant before I pull it off? Well, there are usually a lot of signs that tell you when it's okay to pull it off. Then there's always going to be a mystery with certain tomatoes because of their color, and then we have weather conditions. So today I'm going to show you a few of our tomato varieties that are right on the edge of being ready, and I'm going to tell you when I'm going to harvest them and why. Now this Thornburns terracotta here, it looks like it is starting to become ready, but it's not ready yet. In optimal conditions, you can leave a tomato completely vine ripen and just sit there until you're ready to eat it. Now this guy is still a few days away, but we have heavy rain coming tomorrow, or it's in the forecast anyway. So I'm going to let this tomato sit here as long as I possibly can. And I'm going to make sure I harvest it before I water this plant again so that it's not watered down. But I wanted to tell you real quick about the Thornburns terracotta. We finally harvested one yesterday and had it in the salad, and John was very happy to say that this tomato had huge tomato flavor, and he absolutely loved it. So the one thing I will say about the Thornburns terracotta is its outer flesh, its skin is a little bit like, I don't want to say plastic, but it's very, very tough. The beauty of that, I noticed, it was almost inedible. You were like pulling the peels out, almost like, I don't know if you've ever made tomato gravy and the Roma tomato skin stays in the gravy and you just find yourself pulling it out. It was the same thing with the Thornburns terracotta. So I noticed that as I was cutting into it, I was able to just grab an edge of the tomato and peel it. It peeled off beautifully. It just unraveled. So John was able to enjoy the true meat of the tomato without having any skin to deal with. So these Thornburn terracottas are going to stay on the vines until tomorrow, and then we'll be pulling them off. So as I was just talking to you and pointing at the tomatoes, I noticed one down there and it had this funky little spot on it. So I reached down and had a closer look at it, and I realized it was starting to crack. So this is a sign that the tomato is taking up just too much water. So I'm going to let this sit out on the counter for 2 days, and it will be ripe by then, and I'll just cut away anything that's unpleasant, and you don't have to throw away an entire tomato just because there's one area that's blemished or cracked. Now, if this is your first year growing the beautiful Black Beauty tomato, this can be a little bit tricky. How long do you let a tomato like this vine ripen? Well, until the bottom of it starts to blush. Some of these darker tomatoes with purple striation, like Mr. Stripey, and there's different chocolate tomatoes out there now. They can be very, very difficult. So I actually had to do my research on this because it was my first year. Now, because I can see that this tomato is starting to get its blush, I'm leaving this on the vine for as long as possible. I would consider this a vine ripened tomato. Even though it's not completely ready to eat, I can see that it has all of its gases and it can complete itself on the counter or in the window. So that is a good idea of when you can harvest a vine ripened tomato that's just not quite ready yet. Now over here we're growing the amazing Dr. Witchies, and I can see this beautiful tomato glowing from the kitchen window. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. This is truly a vine ripened tomato that we'll be able to leave on until it's completed. But again, anything that looks like that is going to come off tomorrow before the rains come, because a good heavy drink of rain could be disaster and split the tomato. Now over here I have a beautiful Amish paste tomato, and I really could leave this on. This is considered vine ripened because it is actually turning color. This is done with its gases. This is vine ripened. I can pull it off True to character, the Amish paste tomato does crack at the shoulders, so I will be pulling this guy in today because I can see its cracks are a little bit deep. But this guy here, just on the other side, is very heavy. Oh my goodness, this tomato must weigh a pound already. I love the Amish paste tomato. This is wonderful, versatile tomato, which is great for slicing into your salad, cooking up in a stovetop meal, or adding it to your tomato gravy. I say gravy, some people say sauce. We all mean the same thing. This is a beautiful tomato though, and I would consider this vine ripened again because it has its beautiful blush to it. So, but I'm going to leave it on as long as possible. Now I'm back in the heart of the garden, as you all know, for those of you who are really getting to know your way around our garden. Oh my goodness, Anna Marie, I know you're watching. Can you see I have a monarch butterfly back here. Where did it go? Oh, there it is right there, Anna Marie. I'm telling you, they absolutely love the yellow cosmos. I'm going to try to get a closer look and detour this tomato video into monarch butterfly footage. I'm trying to not disturb it. Now I could get in closer, and I think I will, because it's just been eating all morning. Anna Marie, they love the bright lights cosmos. It's back here all day long. It just feasts away. It goes to every single flower, and it's amazing because you can watch it just eating off of every bit of the stamen. I highly recommend Bright Lights Cosmos, you guys, if you're trying to attract monarch butterflies. It's just such an incredible experience to come back here. Oh, she flew away. She did come back again, but I'm having a hard time seeing back here because it's so bright and so hot. The camera starts to have issues. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this tomato tutorial for you, and then we'll try to do another video dedicated to the monarch butterflies on our flowers. Stay tuned for that, you guys. Look at this beautiful candy floss cosmos. I highly recommend this flower and these incredible zinnias. Queen lime, gorgeous. So many pollinators are back here. So this is part of the importance of the tomato growing process, you guys. I'll attach the video below so you can see what I've been going on and on and on about. But yeah, so this video, again, just to recap, is about when should I harvest my tomatoes. Now, these tomatoes are all big, indeterminate, 90+ day tomatoes. But I want you to have a look down there at my first prize classic beef tomato. We've struggled for years to grow this tomato, but I made a lot of changes, and I can attach that video for you as well. That tomato there, my friends, I would like to sit on the vine until it turned deep red and was ready to eat immediately. But because we have 4 days of rain coming, I'm going to be pulling that bad boy off tomorrow. So when to pull a tomato like that? At the last minute is my advice. Don't do it after you've just watered. You want it to dry out a little bit so its juices get nice and sweet. So that would still be considered a vine ripened tomato because it has some orange color to it. But you see these guys back there? They're just not ready. That's not vine ripened. You could pull that off and it would probably ripen for you, but it would take a very long time. So we have tons of varieties back here. Hello, Mr. Bumblebee. That are ready to go. So I have pulled off some Park Swappers over the past couple days. My counter is actually full of tomatoes, but if I were to let this sit on here for another day, which I will, by tomorrow it will be deep red and ready to go directly into salad. So now the cicada killer wasps are present, and they're getting very agitated when I come back here with the camera. So I have to make these videos quick and meaningful for you so I don't get assaulted like I did last year. So anyway, you guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we sure wish you would do so. We have a lot of information about growing vegetables and flowers on our half-acre property here in suburban New Jersey in northwestern Burlington County. We are technically zone 6B, 7A, but our backyard is a microclimate, so there are certain times of the year where our backyard is sort of like a zone 8 almost. So it's changing with the climate. But anyway, that's a whole other video, you guys. So thanks for spending time with me. I hope your tomatoes are ripening on the vine, and I'll see you in the next video.